Nick Hawkins, inside my house, West Ham fan. Well, I'm outside my house now. West Ham fan TV. Marshy, that was a lot better, and unfortunately Norwich are gone, but we picked up a big 3 points there.
Yeah, listen, we've had to come here. You've got to play everyone twice in the season. Just obviously the fact that we were maybe a bit fortunate in our position in the league, playing Norwich sort of around this sort of time. Listen, you still got to beat what's in front of you, and I think we've more than done that today.
We was, I'll be honest with you, watching that game on a stream. I think I said it a few times. It was men against boys, weren't it? Norwich were.
Yeah, like a training game. You can tell that. I half sort of felt from it, and I thought as the game wore on, and we seemed to be getting stronger and stronger, creating more chances, more people, more of the boys coming into play, introduced into the attacks. It was good to see. I think that we just they were already ground down, weren't they? Like before the game even started. But I think the way that we finished with them and dealt with them was just, as I say, confirmed the relegation, and rightly so. You can't play football like that in the top league and get away with it. And I think with even a team like us to score 4 and Mickey to get all 4 is unheard of, isn't it? So yeah, we've come here and done the job, and got ourselves 6 clear of the bottom 3 now. So yeah, blinder.
Mickey was absolutely phenomenal today. I think he bullied them. Yeah. He was causing them all sorts of trouble from minute 1. So was Bowen. So was Souček.
Yeah.
But big props out to Mikel Antonio for someone that's not a striker. He ain't half bad, is he?
Exactly, that's what I was saying, weren't it? I've said a few games now that he's obviously taken that role up and sort of made it his own. And anyone that didn't know him, I think would maybe suggest that he is a front man, and he's done everything that you would expect an out-and-out striker to do. And scoring 4 goals today. I mean, the fucking header, was it the second one?
Yeah.
On the stroke of half time there was the killer goal, I think, and. It would have been interesting how we come out in the second half, because at 2-0 it's never really safe, is it, regardless of who you're playing. And I think when the third one went in, and he followed in his own attempt, didn't he, which was good, held his man off to knock it in. And then obviously the 4th goal was a tidy little flick as well. Frederick's actually done really well. The full-backs have come under a lot of scrutiny, haven't they, sort of the last 2-3 games or so. And which I don't think they were overly great again today, Cresswell and Fredericks. You might argue that they didn't really have much to do, but I thought everyone really. I think it was a complete West Ham performance, and we've waited for one like that, regardless of it being Norwich, and their capitulation in the season, and the fact that they were going to be down, and we were pretty much odds on to come here and get a result. I didn't expect 4. I said 3-1 to you before, but listen, we've waited for that for some time, and it's actually fucking just pleasurable to see. It's a game that you don't want to really to end, isn't it? So, but no, we've done really well there.
Any criticisms today, Marshy?
I don't know, mate. Really, I think even Noble come in and done a job.
He was brilliant.
I think he was partly a shadow of what he can bring, and I think part of that is maybe because he knows now that that the end of the season is bearing down, and obviously questions as to what he'll do next season, and will he give it up? Obviously, he's our main servant. He's a prime example of someone that is West Ham through and through. Bleeds a claret and blue inside out, and like us, knows exactly what it means, and you need people like that around the team, even when they're not playing. And he's still club captain at the end of the day, and he had to come in and do a job through not playing the last couple and not being so much involved. So listen, fair play to Noble. I think everyone, I think at the back we were pretty solid. I mean, Fabianski didn't have much to do, but when he did, he done well. Obviously Antonio speaks for himself. It's nice to see Jack get a quarter of an hour as well. Souček and Rice are a little bit more reserved and quiet, but I think that was more the fact that they didn't need to do a lot. I think Norwich didn't really worry us any way, shape or form. I don't think so. I mean, no. We've got to lap that one up and hopefully prepare in the right way for Watford as well.
Well, I think it's 6 days. I think Watford's on a Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got 6 days. We've got a bit more time to prepare now, rest up a little bit. Yeah. I probably would have liked to have seen, me personally, like Antonio, maybe Bowen, Rice, maybe just come off, give themselves an extra half hour rest. Because I think we was so far ahead.
I did wonder as to whether they would. I wondered as to whether they would. I know that Bowen got a rest and whatever. I know Noble would have been an obvious one, and replacement for Jack. I mean, Lanzini didn't even get on, did he? So I mean, that was a bit of an interesting one because he could have given us something a bit different. Maybe he's gone for obviously Jack instead, but quite refreshing the fact that he used the substitutions that he could, that we were allowed to use, which is quite refreshing to see as well. But like you say, yeah, Bowen and the likes of Rice and Souček, maybe give them more of a rest and give a few of the other boys a run out. But maybe we didn't really need to. I don't think we needed to get out of first gear really. As I say, I feel for Norwich, but I mean, as well as that, I think as the game wore on, you can't get away with playing football like that in the top league. So we still had to go there and do a job, and I think it was a massive performance, and that will give the boys the push and the momentum and the confidence to drive forward. And Watford's never an easy game at home, is it? We normally struggle against sides that are quite physical. I think they've won again today as well.
Yeah,
so,
they did.
That can be a tight game. I did turn around and say I think that we'll get 9 points out of the last 12, and obviously we've got 3 now. So I mean, I think we can beat Watford and Villa, and United's a tough place to go. They seem to be finding their form quite late and chasing that top 4. So hopefully we can, like you say, prepare for Friday and a few days to get things right again and to keep that confidence in the camp and get ready to go again.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Marshy. I really appreciate it.
Love it. No worries. Cheers,
Cheers, mate.